Welcome to Kojo's Math. Okay, this could be one of your first videos in my class. So let's see how you do. First thing you do, you have paper and pencil ready to go. You pause the video when you need to pause the video to take notes. If you get too far ahead, rewind it and re-listen to something if you don't understand it. All right, here we go. So today we're talking about scientific notation. First thing you need to know is standard form of a number. That's a vocabulary term, standard form, and you do need to know how to spell it. So the standard form of a number is just any number the way you think of it. 43,000. That's the standard form of a number. 5,620,000. That's the standard form of a number. So standard form of a number, anytime you hear me say that, is a number. But now we're going to talk about sometimes the numbers are so large or so small, and today we're only going to concentrate on the numbers that are really large, that if we're writing a paper or we're doing some research, it's too long to write numbers that are in the trillions in a paper. So we do this way to rewrite the number in scientific notation. So just bear with me. First thing is, this is the formula that you need to know, where you can put a number, any number that's in standard form, you can rewrite in scientific notation by using this formula, C times 10 to the nth power. The n is an exponent, okay? So over here you notice that I wrote that the number C has to be a number that's less than 10, and it can be greater than or equal to 1. So basically, C has to be a single-digit number. It cannot be 0, 1 through 9. So it's got to be a number less than 10, which is 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it's got to be a greater than 1 or equal to it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So here's what you need to learn. When you have this, these are inequalities. You're going to make a compound inequality to compare the range of C. Right now I told you C can be greater than or equal to 1, but less than 10. So we put C in the middle. We write 1 is less than C, which is less than, well, 1 is less than or equal to C, which is less than 10. So the only numbers that C can be are 1 through 9. That's it. Now, how do you use this? Well, that's what we're going to learn about right now. And the best way to do it is just to jump in. So you're going to change the number from standard form to scientific notation. You've got to remember the formula for scientific notation is what? Look at it. That's right. C times 10 to the n power, where 1 is less than or equal to C, which is less than 10. You have to be able to do that. You have to know that. So let's look. So we're going to change the standard form of this number, 2,860,000, into scientific notation. That's standard form. We're going to use C times 10 to the n. I know C has to be a number between 1 and 9, and it can be 1, it can be 9. So how do I get the decimal over? Well, at the end of every standard form of a number is a decimal, just like we did in long division. So we've got to move that decimal between 2 and 8. So we do that by moving it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we move the decimal 6 places. So we rewrite 2.86, because we don't need all these zeros, times 10 to the what power? 6. So what that means is that, remember how when we multiplied, remember that fraction when we were doing long division and I said if you have 50 over 2.1, you have to multiply both by 10 to move the decimal place. Remember that? And then you get 500 over 210 because that's going to move. Remember that? We just did that. Well, right here, when we have 10 to the 6th, we're saying that to go back from scientific notation And to go back into standard form of a number, we multiply by 10 to the 6th, which means it's a base 10 number, 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000. And we're going to move the decimal place that many times. What is 10 to the 6th? Well, think about it, okay? So now we're just going to keep going, because the more you listen, it might be a little confused, just trust me. So here we have scientific notation that I want to put into standard form. Well, look, it's 5.62 times 10 to the third. Well, 10 to the third means that it's 10 times 10 times 10, which is 1,000, okay? So 5.62 times 1,000, think about if you multiply, go back to where we were talking about 50, we just did this, over 2.1, and I multiplied this by 10, the decimal place moves one place. Well, when I multiply by 1,000, if the decimal place moves one place for 10, and it would move two places for 100, then for 1,000 it would move, that's right, 3 places. Well, you don't need to write all that out, because you're letting me know that you understand that by simply saying, okay, this is scientific notation. It's 5.62. It's the number C. See the C? That stands for C. Is a number between 1 through 9, and it can be 1. 5.62. It's a decimal. Times 10 to the third. So we're multiplying by 1,000. So we're going to move the decimal place 3 places to the right, because we're going to make it bigger. So we're going to go 1, 2. Uh-oh, we have to move it one more place. When we move it one more place, what do we have to add? That's right, a 0. So we rewrite the number out of scientific notation into standard form by writing 5, 6. We moved it 1, 2, 3. We have to rewrite it and put the 0. You have to write the comma. You can't just put 5620. It becomes 5,620. Look at this one, 14.2. Is this in scientific notation? Look at this number. No, it's not in scientific notation, because C is not a number between what? 1 and 9. So this one's not in scientific notation. We'll talk about how to put that in scientific notation soon, not today. But this is not in scientific notation. It's got times 10 to the 5th, but it's not in scientific notation because the 14 is not a number between 1 and 9. Okay. If I ask you, did I get these out of order? I might have. No. If I ask you to take the number, let's say I say 3.21 times 10 to the 4th, and I tell you to write that in standard form, then we're going to say, we're going to move this how many places the decimal to the right? 4. 1, 2, and what do we have to add? How many zeros? 2 zeros. So 3, 2, 1, 0, 0. Now where does the comma go? We start to the right and we count by 3s. 1, 2, 3. So the comma is 32,100. If I tell you to put this number into scientific notation, 12,500,000, the first number has to be between 1 and 9. So look, go ahead and put, let me get this other marker. Go ahead and put the decimal place in. The decimal place has to go right here because it has to be the first, only a single digit number. It can't be 0. We start over here and we got to count the number of places we have to move the decimal to get it over here so that we can write the exponent. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So scientific notation would be 1.25 times 10 to the what power? How many places did we move the decimal? 7. Very good. So now you'll have problems like this that are number sense. And it'll say, okay, 648,000 is greater than, less than, or equal to 6.48 times 10 to the 5th. Well, you have to show your work. You have to tell me. You can't just guess. So what you have to do on this one, because they're in two different forms, you have to decide which form do you want. You can put this one in scientific notation and compare them, or you can put this one into standard form. I like to write them in scientific notation. So this would become 6.48 times 10 to the what power? Well, how many places do I move it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So look, 6.48 times 10 to the 5th, 6.48 times 10 to the 5th. They're the same thing. So it's equal. Now when you have them like this, 3,650,000 and 3.65 times 10 to the 5th, I'm going to put this in scientific notation again to see. I could put this in standard form, but I'm going to go ahead and put it into scientific notation. So it's 3.65. Let me move it. It's got to go right here. So let's move the decimal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Side 10 to the 6. Well, look, 3.65 times 10 to the 6th and 3.65 times 10 to the 5th. This one's bigger. It's to the 6th power. This one's to the 5th power. If I have, if this is 1,000 to the thousandths, right? 10 to the 3rd. 10 to the 4th would be 10,000. 10 to the 5th would be 100,000. And 10 to the 6th would be 1,000,000. So this is 1,000,000. This would be 365 million. And this one would be 365,000,000. See that? So this one's bigger. Okay, now what I want you to do is I want you to pause the video at this point and do these problems. This one you don't have to show work for. The last one. You do on number 4, but you don't on this one. So pause the video, do these problems, and then when you come back, we'll come back and check it. Welcome back. Let's see how you did. All right. Here we go. On the first one, you should have gotten 70,000. On number 2, 371,000. You have to have the commas in there. Number 3, 6,520,000. Now number 4, you were switching them from standard form to scientific notation. 3.465 times 10 to the 6th power. Number 5, 3.43 times 10 to the 5th. This one, you had to show work on number 6. You had to have them in the same form. So I changed 41,320,000 into scientific notation and got 4.13 times 10 to the 7th. So 4.132 times 10 to the 6th is less than 4.132 times 10 to the 7th. Now this one's number sense. 5.28 times 10 to the 12th. How does it compare to 5.11 times 10 to the 12th? Well, 5.28, even though it's to the same power, is going to be larger than 5.1 when you show the problem. I don't like to write all those zeros. I just like to do scientific notation. I think that's it. Let's see. That is it. Okay, so here's what you're doing. You're writing down 2 things that you learn and 1 question. You're going to bring it to class tomorrow with your notes on an index card. And then we'll have discussion. So I hope you enjoyed this first video. I'll see you tomorrow.